Respect, respect, respect. Respect together, Tommy. Respect to you, and respect to the people that gonna come in that gonna be ghost watching. I wasn't gonna do this live tonight. I wasn't gonna do it, but but I came across this story right here, which is really troubling to me. It's really troubling to me. How does a young mom die mysteriously in a jail cell? That is the question. After being arrested for theft, that's the question we got to ask. See, you got to check out. You got to. I don't care what your loved one have did. Check on them while they locked up, cause these people are not taking care of your loved ones in jail. They are just there. Okay, I'm going to read a little snippet, a little bit of it. The first call for help came before sunset on the evening of July 15th, 2021. This happened in 2021. Ta'Neasha Chappel, 23 years old, she tells them she throwing up blood. Mother, she's a 23-year-old mother. She got pregnant at 13. Okay, she was a mother in pretrial detention at the Jackson County Jail in Brownstown, a small town in the hills and farms of southern Indiana. To the told the staff via intercom, "This is my second time. I overlooked it today, the first time, but it's happening again." Okay, and a jail officer went to her cell to examine the vomit, did not believe it contained blood, and left. That jail officer left. It was the beginning of a long, lonely night for Chappelle. The only black woman in her unit, she has spent more than 7 troubled weeks at the jail. Get what else she was battling. She was battling racial slurs from her fellow inmates. Chappelle was an outsider, a lifelong resident of Louisville, Kentucky, about an hour drive south of Brownstown, facing charges including theft and fleeing the police. Okay, her call for help continued throughout the night and into the next afternoon. During the nearly 19 hours that she begged for medical care while vomiting blood, stumbling, falling, banging her head on a metal bed frame, wearing nothing but sore underwear, becoming increasingly incoherent, and eventually withering on the floor naked. Jail worker failed to bring her to the hospital. Some accused her of faking her illness. What's wrong with that picture? What's wrong with that picture? See, when you get in there, when you get in there, they already think you less than human anyway because of your pigmentation of your skin. But in Brownstown, that sound like a little country town. Shay Tunes, Shay Two respect. That's that town. Look how they treated her. They treated her like she was nothing. Like she was faking it. Officer goes in there and look at her blood, look at her vomit. Oh, there ain't no blood in it. Walks back out. 19 hours of excruciating pain that 23-year-old woman went through. 19 hours. 19 hours. Check this out. By the time the staff called an ambulance around 3:15 p.m. July 16. July 16th. 3 p.m. is July 16th, okay? And this And she started calling for help July 15th. And they and then July 16th they want to call for help. Guess what it was? It was too late. In 2.5 hours, she would be dead. That means at 5:45, she would be dead. 19 hours later, 19 hours later, she'd be unalive in a jail where she was calling for help. A country hit town. She was calling for help. But some of y'all gonna spit a narrative. Oh, she should have been shot. What shoplifting got to do with oh, you gonna say, oh, she should have been stealing clothes, whatever. Yeah, but that still don't take away from the narrative how she was treated in that jail cell. That still don't take away how she was mistreated in that jail cell, how she wasn't given that African American care, how them jail officer didn't believe her. So what do we have to say about that? What do we have to do about that? One, check on your relatives every day if they locked up. See if they're being mistreated while they locked up in a jail cell. Not in prison. Even check on when they're in prison. Make sure they're doing fine. Make sure what they are getting is adequate care in that facility. Okay? The, Indi- the Indiana State Police investigated an autopsy in it, an autopsy ended in mystery, finding the cause of death to be probable toxicity from an unknown substance with the manner of death undetermined. In other words, it was unclear how this toxic substance got into her system. In a nearly 900-page state police investigation obtained by Rolling Stone, investigators said they found no evidence that Chappelle had been poisoned by inmates or jail employees. No evidence that she'd been poisoned by inmates or jail employees. How you know that? Did you test the food that she ate it while she was in there? No. The prosecuting attorney announced that no crimes were committed and no charges were filed. How you know no crime been committed? It's just an open shut case to you. She's just another black woman that was locked up to you. She wasn't human to you. This is 2021. She got locked up for evading police, theft of clothes for an outlet mall, and she get treated like this. Along with that, the staffers at that jail did not take her claims of being sick seriously. She had to endure racial slurs while she was in there, and she was the only black woman in that jail. So what that tells you, what should tell you about that? So I would, and they talk about they ain't found no unknown substance, right? Unknown substance, and they say they are unclear how the substance that toxic substance got into her system. I guarantee you, I know how it got in there, but they gonna investigate it. I guarantee you, somebody put some in her doggone food. I guarantee you that. I believe that. They just didn't want to investigate it. Chappelle's mother, Lavetta McLean, has launched a civil lawsuit against 13 jail workers, in addition to the sheriff, who is in charge of supervising jail, alleging that a failure to provide adequate medical care led to her daughter's death. The case is set to go to trial June 26th. I don't know if that June 26th this year or next year. Let me go down here and see. I'm going down here. I read something there. See, this tragedy highlight widespread problems at American rural jail, which face many of the same issues as urban facilities: overcrowding, challenges in recruiting and training officers, but they lack the economic resources to handle them. In rural county, it's concentrated people at double the rate of urban. Yeah, that ain't got nothing to do with that right there. That ain't got nothing to do with it. That is not. That got nothing to do. Then think about it. Most of the people behind bars have not been found guilty of a crime, but rather are serving pretrial detention either because they were denied bail or were unable to pay it, said Hyde, which was the case with Chappelle. She sat in her cell unable to come up with the bail, awaiting a trial date 6 months away. This is her story. Okay, I'm not gonna read this. I'm not gonna read her story. I just want to highlight what happened. She got pregnant when she was eighth grade. Her boyfriend, after giving birth at, she gave birth at 13. I wonder how old her boyfriend was. Gave birth at 13. They said she will fight for you. That what they say. Here's the thing about Brownstown, Indiana. A rural town with just under 3,000, a handful of small business dot the main street. When Chappelle wound up in jail here, she was turning a corner, her sister said. She wanted to change so much. Okay. Okay. Here we go. This is how she got in trouble. But more trouble was to come. On the afternoon of May 26, 2021, Indiana State Trooper Corey Clark heard a dispatch that a black female driving a white Chevy Impala had stolen $7,000 worth of clothes from an outlet mall. And her car matched the description, and Clark initiated stop. In this dashcam video, Chappelle pulls over as directed. Clark approached with a gun in his right hand, holding it behind his hip. Okay, okay, there's nothing wrong with that. Put your hands out the window, he yells as she complies. He tells her to keep her hands in view until more officers come. She asks why would she stop, and he says she is a suspect of stealing. He later deemed this a misstep, stating, "I accidentally told her that we were investigating a theft," according to police document. Oh, y'all gonna find out what else he did. A police representative clarified Clark's comment on Rolling Stone, said that in hindsight, Clark felt he shouldn't have said Chappelle was a suspect till he got more information and had his assistant on the scene. An interview request with Clark was denied. In a video, after telling Chappelle she was suspect, Clark contradicts his original order, telling her to give him her key. When she does not quickly does so, he holsters his gun and pulls open the door, saying, "Get out of the car." She shut the door. "I am," she said. He reaches through the window and opens it again, grabbing her arm to yank her out. She pulls her arm from his grip and speeds off. She was scared. She was scared. She was scared. She was scared, so she pulled off. So the officer found about $300 worth of goods in her car, according to police document. Clark drives Chappelle to the hospital in Seymour to get her checked out. She said, tells him, "I just don't want to get hurt." "I'm not going to hurt you," he replies. Who believes that one? "I wasn't going to hurt you up there. All you had to do was follow my orders." Okay, that's what he tell her. She was following his orders. but you got your gun on your hip and you walk up there. She said she was just scared. They they both talked to each other, and she tells him she just didn't want to get shot. She said, noting that she is black. Then he said, well, if you wouldn't have pulled away from me when I first stopped you, he said, you scared me with the aggression. She said, as soon as I seen your gun, it scared me. Had to damn death. It was like, oh my gosh. He pulled a gun. My hands was out. He seized my hand. Why he pulled his gun out on me? Hmm. Anybody would be scared if the police officer put a gun out on you. For what? And your hands out the window? You no threat to him? Then he said he was not pointing at her. Okay. See, here's what it get really tricky right here. Here we get really tricky. At the hospital, Chappelle shared her medical history, including ulcer and sickle cell disease. Then Clark drove her to the jail where a series of missteps regarding her medical background followed, according to police documents. First, the one that took her to the jail, took her to the hospital, neglected to include her medical history on a bookend form because he inadvertently skipped the page. Do y'all believe he skipped that page? Respect the boss. Do y'all really believe he actually intentionally that he really? Do y'all actually believe he actually meant to skip that page? I believe he did it intentionally. I think he did it intentionally. Then the jail staff failed to do a medical screening as required by state regulation. So the jail staff forgot to do a medical screening as required by state regulation. Okay, let's keep going. That's why I got that trigger warning up there. See, then it said June 3rd, 2021, 8 days after her arrest, Chappelle was charged with escape, three counts of blah, 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 blah. She could come with her phone. And we know how sometimes the and she could get a bail reduction. And she and another inmate said she would befriending her and everything else. She had plans when she got out. Okay. Okay, she been called the N word now. When it was her turn to have control of the remote, she just fell asleep. They all got mad. They called her the N word. You see how they treat? See what happened when you black and go to a rural town like that? When you the only black person in there, just about the only black person in there. And Chappelle scribbled in a handwritten note to herself, "This place is hell." Yeah, they did it on purpose together. Yeah, they did on purpose. See, and then that evening, Chappelle began vomiting. Chappelle found her 19 hours at the jail were indeed a decent descent into hell. A descent into hell. I told you that's why I put that trigger warning up here. Okay, that's why I put that trigger warning up here for you. Her deal started in earnest when she made the first intercom call around 8:30 p.m. on July 15th. Remember, remember, this on July 15th at 8:30 p.m. Write it down. 8:30 p.m. Okay, 8:30 p.m. 8:30 p.m. July 15th. This in 2021 at 8:30 p.m. Y'all are both right about that. Remember, July 15th, 2021, 8:30 p.m. Okay. In the audio recording obtained by Rolling Stone, calls from Chappelle and other inmates regularly throughout continue regularly throughout the night. Here are just a few. At 1:33 a.m., I need help, Chappelle says. 9, 10, 11, 12, 5 hours later. That's 5 hours later. I need a nurse. I need to go to the hospital. Almost 6 hours later. I need to go to the hospital. She says 3 times. I'm throwing up. I'm throwing up blood, she said. Almost 7 hours later. I'm dehydrated. My whole bucket is full with vomit. She said, I'm throwing up blood. 9 hours later, I need help. She said, then repeats it 8 times. Miss Media Respect. At 10:48 a.m., an inmate called, oh, do you not see that? We got a naked lady on the floor in here. Chappelle, after vomiting all night, becoming increasingly incoherent, had left her cell and entered a common area where nothing but underwear soiled with feces. Then she collapsed. They didn't give a rat's butt about her. They didn't give a rat's butt about her. I don't care rural, urban. I don't care where you at, what kind of facility you in, what prison you in. Some of them folks will give a rat's butt about you. Throughout the night and morning, jail staff visited Chappelle said, but no one called the hospital. The sergeant on duty, Scott Ferguson, called the jail nurse, I can't pronounce his name, late in the night, advising him of two inmates with medical issues. Now, this for the burn y'all. This for the burn y'all up. This for the burn y'all up together, Miss Media, the boss, Ray Cooter. This for the burn y'all up right here. What I'm finna read now. Notice that they call sent her to the hospital, right? Chappelle and a female inmate with chest pain. The inmate with chest pain, who is white, according to Silver Suit, got sent to the hospital. The one with the chest pain was white, and she got sent to the hospital. I told you they don't care about us. We're gonna start caring about ourselves. We're gonna start caring about each other. She was throwing up blood. She been complaining ever since what was it? 8:30 p.m. on July 15th, 2021, and it's the 16th. Remember, this is after. It's after midnight, July 16th. See, the inmate with chest pain who is white, according to the civil suit, got sent to the hospital. She was complaining of the white one was complaining of chest pain. How you know she wasn't faking it? But they thought Ta'Neasha Chappel was faking it. Hmm. Go figure, ain't it? Go figure. Here you go. Around 12:30 p.m. on July 16th, jail officer moved Chappelle to a holding cell where they could see her on camera stumbling, falling, and hitting her head on a metal bunk with a bang. They still did not take her to the hospital. But the white one with chest pain, she got taken to the hospital. Hmm. And remember, this started July 15th at 8:30 p.m. the previous night. Around 2:31 p.m., jailhouse video showed the nurse telling Chappelle, who is naked, to get dressed. A couple of minutes later, he said, last chance, either you get up and get dressed and come on out and talk to me, or I'm just going to go back to doing my thing. You got a woman in there naked. banging her head on something, vomiting, and she tells you blood is in her vomit. All you gonna say, tell her to get dressed, come on out, talk to you. Oh, you just gonna go back to doing your thing. They didn't care about her. Cause I guarantee you, if there was a white woman in there saying the same thing that she was doing, she'd been at the hospital by now. Then he leaves. She appears to be delusional, attempted to put on invisible shoe. That's at 2:31 p.m. Around 3:12 p.m. Just how video shows Sergeant Tammy Baxter telling Chappelle, who is lying naked on the floor and moaning, to dress herself. This just makes us think you're faking. Faking it, Baxter said. If you're not going to get up and get dressed, we're just going to leave you alone and you can just sit there and suffer. Chappelle says she feels like she's on fire. She is tempted to stand and fall against the wall. They didn't care about her. That's why they got to check on your family members when they locked up. Cause I don't, like I said, it don't care if you're in a rural area or urban jail. It doesn't matter. You got to check on because they think because when you get locked up, they think because you get locked up, your civil rights is taken. That they are supposed to be following the Constitution. Yes, it does. You force a person that get locked up, Constitution right is still intact. It's still intact. At 3:15, the staff at 3:15, the staff finally called for an ambulance. But guess what? That didn't say it was an emergency according to the police document. The ambulance arrived at the jail at 3:29. So let me make sure I got this right. 3:29. At the hospital, Chappelle was intubed, but it was all too late. At 5:45, she was pronounced dead. Doctor said he was shot because he had not been told to expect a critical patient. The police document reveals. Wait a minute. They didn't tell her. They didn't tell first. The dumb any other state trooper did not write on that medical form about her medical history that she got examined at the hospital, and she told him about. And then they didn't give her medical screening like they supposed to have did by state regulation. Then they talk about she was faking it, but a white woman with chest pain they took to the hospital. So a black woman got to be faking her what's going on. Got to be faking her illness. A black man got to be faking their illness. Oh, the other people locked up in that same jail, detention, because they did another skin pigment. Don't have to be faking it. Make that make sense. Make that make sense. Make that make sense. Respect black guy. Why it took them so long to take this black woman, 23-year-old black woman, to the hospital? Why? Her life didn't matter. But they took the other woman that had chest pain, that they had the same, they had a very, they took that Caucasian to the hospital with that chest pain, but I guarantee you she was faking it. I guarantee she was faking it. Why did no one call the hospital for nearly 19 hours? A lawyer for the sheriff and jail worker named in the civil suit declined to comment, citing ongoing litigation, but their deposition provides some answer and reveal a tangle of problems, including miscommunication among the but the staff and apparent lack of knowledge about how to recognize and handle medical emergency at the jail. How in the hell? How the hell you don't know how to handle medical emergency at the jail? How the hell you? How the hell you didn't? Come on, son. Look, you want somebody to die in your jail that you over. Okay, here we go. For example, the Night Sergeant Ferguson said he knew only that Chappelle was vomiting, not that anyone had seen blood in her vomit. But check this out. But jail officer Seth Boyd, who had seen the blood, said he had told the sergeant. Boyd also said that if it had been up to him, he would have called the hospital. If he had told the sergeant's supposed to have the sergeant on duty, so it was his duty to call the nurse and let them know what was going on, call for an ambulance, said it was an emergency, that you got a person here who is vomiting and blood that's in her vomit. See, y'all don't hear me. Cause if you did that, just think how many other, just think if that goes on in that jail, in that detention center, and think what all misdiagnosed, what how many people that locked up, incarcerated, gets mistreated, how they get misdiagnosed, how they get everything else misconstrued. How is that miscommunication? Sergeant Ferguson said it was miscommunication. How is miscommunication if Boyd had told you? If Jail Officer Boyd had told you that? It can't be no miscommunication. The sheriff, Rick Miles, said Boyd should have called the hospital since blood in the vomit constituted an emergency, and that he would not have been needed approval. Here we go, passing the blame. You see, they passing the blame, ain't it? Now they saying Boyd should have called the hospital, called for the ambulance. Since blood went in the vomit constitute an emergency, but at first they said they didn't see blood in the vomit, right? Which one was it? Boyd would follow protocol. His protocol said if it was an emergency and he would have called, if he would have called, try to get her an ambulance, get her to the hospital, y'all would have said, hey, he should have did that. He should have followed protocol. He should have told the sergeant. It, it behooves me. Meanwhile, the nurse admitted he failed to do a medical screening on Chappelle at any time during her incarceration. Said that as the sole nurse of the jail, he was 7 months behind on screenings. Oh boy, here we go. 7 months behind screening. How the hell you 7 months behind screening? You supposed to screen them inmates as they come in. The ones they bring to jail, you supposed to screen them as they come in. Not when you get time to. How you get 7 months behind? You the sole one now. You supposed to do them as they come in. So so you weren't doing no screening as they came in then. If you're 7 months behind. He said he had informed Meyer of the backlog. Meyer said he was unaware of the problem. Uh-oh. Bring me each other. Here we go. They bring me each other. Bester, the officer who said Chappelle could just suffer, said the comment was a tactic to try to help motivate her to get up because she knew nothing except that Chappelle needed to get dressed. Nah, who y'all do y'all believe that? Do y'all believe that? I don't believe that one bit. How is that a technique, a way to try to help somebody get dressed? Tell about you just suffer. How you gonna tell somebody just suffer? She said she didn't know nothing, but Chappelle need to get dressed. That's that just sad. They all said that an inmate who is vomiting blood, as Chappelle was, should be taken to the hospital immediately. Why she wasn't? Oh, I know why she wasn't. She was telling she was vomiting and blood was in her vomit, but y'all didn't. Y'all thinking, y'all were thinking she was faking it. But a woman with a chest pain that's not the same color that she is, that same color that y'all are, y'all take her to the hospital. Then Chappelle death remained a mystery. In the absence of forensic pathology listed the cause of death as probable toxicity from an unknown substance due to several factors, including a green liquid in Chappelle's abdomen and her altered mental state, among others. A crowd lab tested Chappelle's bodily fluid for illegal narcotics as well as several chemicals, including component of antifreeze. The doctor at the hospital had said her lab result suggested possible parts about antifreeze. The test came back negative for narcotic and chemicals, ruling out antifreeze as the toxin. Some inmates, hold on, some inmates say Chappelle had been poisoned by prisoners who had allegedly been slipping a cleaning product, which they called a green cleaner, into her food and drink, according to police document. The jail provided inmate with a solid emulation degrees to clean their cell. State police investigators said they could not substantiate the claim. One inmate pointed investigator to a bottle of Mountain Dew that had allegedly been spiked with the cleaning product, and investigators observed that the bottle contained a darker liquid with particles. He attempted to find a label that would test Chappelle's body fluid for the cleaning product, but could not find one that could do so. According to police document, within a month after Chappelle's death, another person died after being in custody at the Jackson County Jail. Joshua McLemore, who had a history of mental illness and narcotic abuse, spent 20 days at the jail while his case was pending. He remained in a dissociative mental state and naked and mostly not eating, drinking, or sleeping. When he was finally taken to the hospital on August 8, 2021, he died within 2 days of multiple organ failure. The state police determined that no individual had committed a crime, but that McLemore had likely died due to prolonged lack of attention from the staff. According to the county prosecutor, no charges were filed. During during the nearly 19 hours that Chappelle was begging for help, her family had no idea. Had no idea. McLean asked his family members that what they tell people who want to help. He sends people to justice for Ta'Neasha.com. But it says she asked people to share Chappelle's story. Sherry Collins, an attorney working with Ace, just telling the people to contact the FBI and call for a federal investigation. The Fleming had also held rallies, definitely seeking accountability. Hmm. That is so sad. That's a sad story. That's a sad story, right? That's a sad story. That right there goes to show what people go through when they get locked up. It goes to show you people don't care. People do not really care, do they? Do people really care when you get locked up? Do the people that work in that jail really care about you when you get locked up, especially in a rural town like that? No, they don't. Every time you turn around, people think you're faking it. How can you be faking it? See, this story just right here it just it just took made me put perspective on life. You- People take life for granted. See, we got loved ones that locked up. Go see how they doing, and they gonna ask you how so and so doing out there, whatever, whatever. But sit down and really have a heart to heart talk. How are you really doing in here? How you really doing locked up? How they treating you in here? Be honest. Cause we don't want another. We don't see a whole lot of bunch of folks that are incarcerated get done like this, and they want to pass the buck. And she was in a got locked up in a town that quote unquote that she ain't supposed to be, which she had freedom to go there. Although she did steal some $3,000 worth of clothes and ran for the police, that ain't got nothing to do with what happened in that jail. Nobody cared. She was just another black woman locked up in that small town. She was faking it, as they say. One jet officer said, "Oh, you can lay down and suffer all I care." Said that was just a technique for her to just get up, put up clothes. And then the nurse said, "Hey, get up and put up some clothes. If you don't come talk to me, well, you just had to sit there." Just left and went did his thing, but he was backlogged. A whole lot of medical screening. It's crazy how things, how we just take life being free for granted. But these people, our people and other people, is in there locked up, and they get treated any kind of way. And they got past the buck alone. See, and they said first they talking about no jail staffer, inmate, prisoner did anything to her. But we all know when you in a jail and you get called racial slurs, and they really got mad because it was her turn to control the remote. She just turned the TV off and went to sleep. And this up in Indiana, small town in Indiana. So you know them folks didn't like her being locked up right there, pausing her. They pausing that woman. They pausing that woman. Another inmate said they did it, but those charges are gonna be filed. But guess what? That town, that jail, they finna pay with a lawsuit. Although they're not gonna bring Ta'Neasha Chappel back. She had a child when she was 13. She basically grew up with her daughter. Her daughter, this was 2021. 3 years later, she'd been 26. Think about it. She's when she was think about it. She basically she had her daughter when she was 13. 10 years later, her daughter was 10. Her daughter be 13 this year, or already 13. Just think how she feel. See, it's many more stories like this. I had to come with this. I had to. I didn't want. I wasn't planning on going live. I planned on doing something else tonight, but I do that tomorrow. That that young lady had a bright future. She didn't deserve what she got in that jail. I'm not condoning what she did to get there. I'm not condoning that. This goes back to what I was talking about. The system, the justice system is a failure to black people. It's two kind of system. And I just showed you the two just different systems. One have a chest pain, they believed her. She went right on to the hospital. 19 hours. Then 2 hours or something later, when she do get to the hospital, she unalive. You're right. Still is not a death sentence. It should be a death sentence. Nothing that you do should be a death sentence. Robbing somebody should be a death sentence. But I know what it should be. If you unalive somebody else, or if you rape a child or a woman or a little boy, and in one more case, if you do it to if you do it to a man, yes, I think you should. But robbing somebody shouldn't be. Running from the police shouldn't be. Standing up for yourself, it should be a death sentence at all. Shouldn't be at all. Because guess what? See, sometimes we got to take a step back and look back and say, hey, what is that was my family member sometimes? See, they didn't take a step back. Everybody was blaming this and that. Boy said he told the sergeant. And the sheriff said boy he could have called the hospital and got an ambulance, especially for an emergency. But yet, if boy would have did that, they would have told you why you didn't follow protocol to tell the sergeant. It's all this back and forth, which don't make no sense to me. I just want to know what y'all opinion is. Put it in the chat. Should She was eluding the police, running from the police, and taking $3,000 worth of clothes for a strip mall is worth a death sentence. Is it worth? Is it a death sentence? No, it's not. $4,000 for a bond for bail. I think that was too high anyway. Nobody did that just to keep her locked up. Just to keep her locked up. But I'm getting ready to get out of here. I'm about to get. I'm gonna get. I'm gonna get ready to get out of here. Get off here right quick. Leave a comment on this live. Tell me what y'all think about this live I just did. What do y'all think really happened to Ta'Neasha Chappel, and who did it? Who you think did it? Was it one of the jail's officers or some of the inmates? Leave a comment. Like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Like this video. And this is hard. This is gut wrenching. I just say this happened back in 2021. All right, Shay too. Be safe out there now. Be Shay too. Be safe out there. I know it happened more than once. Not just that small town. It happened in the big cities too. It's happening all over. But nobody want to talk about it. But I did tonight. Hey, love and respect yourself. Cause you love and respect yourself. See what else we got here. Thank you, Shay too. Yeah, it's sad. It's sad but true. Sad, sad but true. Hold on for a minute. But y'all stay prayed up and tell your loved ones that you love them. If you got somebody locked up in one of these facilities right here, go check them out. Make sure you're on that visitor list. Go check them out and ask them the hard question: how are you really doing? How are they treating you in there? That's all you got to do. They all should be held accountable. I know they all should be. Like I said, love and respect yourself. Because when you love and respect yourself, you can see through all the BS. And self-love is the best love. Nobody can love you better than you love yourself. Peace. I'm out.